welcome to the NSC Pre-Race Show. No matter where you're watching us throughout the world, we'd like to thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Thomas Ford, NSC analyst, bringing you the inside scoop on everything NSC. Well, Season 5 started off with a bang. We took our events out of the skating rink and into Tacoma at the National Guard Armory. Had a great turnout, wonderful event, leading us right up to our next event, April 5th, where we're getting all kinds of exposure from local news, radio, and TV stations here in the Tacoma, Seattle area. Can't wait for the next event. We're going to get you caught up to speed, catching up with Joey Mantia, Winter Olympian, NSC co-founder. We're going to get you a recap of what's going on when we take our event to the East Coast, but we also want to make sure everybody knows what happened last time we did battle. So we're going to recap the first event. No further ado, let's get it on. Well, Season 5 started out with all kinds of highlights. Stephen Carter made his comeback in the sprint division. We had all kinds of newcomers that saw the podium. We had a grudge match newly installed by NSC President Miguel Jose, and we also crowned our youngest grand champ ever. Let's break it down race by race. The sprint division was fast and furious as advertised. Stephen Carter, after an injury-riddled 2013, makes his way back to the top of the podium, taking home the gold in the 300, edging out Brandon Hall, and newcomer Alex Holmes making his first trip on the podium in his NSC debut. In the 500, it was all Jonathan Blair. Jonathan won the start and smashed the competition. But make no mistake, the race was for second. Mikey Ratliff edging out Stephen Carter on his way to his first silver of the season, but Carter still gets enough points to take home the overall sprint championship. Well, the endurance event was all about two guys. We had the veteran against the newcomer. Justin the Raging Cajun Stelly got the best of Thomas Tom Goff in the 1600, but the roles were reversed in the 1000, where Tom gets his first NSC gold. Isaiah Oliver kind of feeling like a bridesmaid in both events, finishing with 2 consecutive thirds. Well, another fastest man on skates was crowned in the first event, Isaiah Oliver, aka The Future, showing that not only can he make it happen in endurance events, but he's got the top speed to burn. He takes it home. Jonathan Blair, he gets second place, and the Raging Cajun finishes with the bronze. At the end of the night, it's all about that main event, the 800-meter Grand Champions race. Out the gate, it was anyone's win to take. But Thomas Tom Goff saw his opportunity and tested the will of all of his competitors, hammering the last 4 laps, taking home the black suit, becoming the youngest ever Grand Champion. Well, the work never stops here behind the scenes at the National Speed Skating Circuit. My main man on the online feed, Freddie DeTore, taking on a new role here at the NSC, becoming our new event coordinator, really taking the reins of the party at the live event. But not to worry, I've got 4-time Olympian, the pioneer of the inline to ice movement, Casey Boudier, joining me on the online feed for April 5th. Very excited to bring Casey onto the staff. Now remember, April's a very, very busy month for the NSC. We're taking this thing back to the East Coast April 25th in the hometown of Rob Campbell, aka Rob Skate, our master of ceremonies. So he's going to be doing a little bit behind the scenes on the East Coast, but not to worry. We've got Joey Mantia, co-founder of the NSC, Winter Olympian, joining us for the live event, taking over the reins as the master of ceremonies. Now, we got a chance to catch up with Joey. Check it out. Joey, talk to us a little bit about your Olympic experience, man. When did you get that moment where it was like, this is really real?
I think the first time I felt that was walking into opening ceremonies. Really got like the vibe of the Olympics going. You're around all the other athletes that are walking at the same time as you, and you know, walking in and seeing like thousands and thousands of people in this big stadium, all these lights going and stuff, and then actually sitting down and watching the opening ceremonies was like the aha moment for me.
Cool. Well, I know there was probably a moment that was really, really memorable. What was there a time that you were like, man, this is really cool? What was that one memorable moment for you?
The racing was really cool, right? So being an athlete and competing on that platform is a dream come true, right? But I remember being in the oval one day for practice, and pretty much I was the last person on the ice. I was like the only person skating around, and I look up on the big screen TV that they have inside there, and they're showing like this old clip of like early 1900s sports, and it's like all janky. It's kind of crazy bobsleds with no safety equipment or anything, and they're like going through the history of the Olympics, basically, of winter sports, and it goes from like early 1900s to like 1950s and so on and so on. It finally gets to 1980, and Eric Heiden pops up on the screen. He's like skating down the ice, and I got chills at that point, and I was like, this is really cool, you know, now that I'm a part of this. You know, that was a sweet moment for me.
Well, obviously, Team USA speed skating didn't do quite as well as the entire country would have liked, and certainly you guys as athletes, but really, who cares about that? Where do you see yourself the next 4 years moving forward with the Olympic dream?
You know, I think moving forward, I'm going to focus a little more on inline for the next 4 years, or at least the next 3. And, you know, inline is what got me to where I am, and it allowed me to be in a position to switch over to the ice, go to the Olympics. And I think there's a lot of carryover value there, and I don't want to get away from that. And it's a sport I love. It's a sport my heart's always in. And now I have a little bit more time to work with the NSC and put my heart into that, you know, a business that I co-created with Miguel. And, you know, I think there's a lot of opportunities coming up, and it's a good place to be for me right now. As far as ice skating, yeah, in 4 years I'm going to focus on the next Olympics. So over the next 4 years, that's pretty much my main goal. But I do want to have a lot to do with inline over the next 4.
Well, enough about the ice stuff, man. Back to the inlines. You get a chance to come back working your former role as the live announcer for the event in Tacoma on April 5th. You excited about the role? How do you feel about that thing coming back April 5th?
Yeah, man, I think it's super cool to be able to even have the opportunity to come back and announce the event. I remember my first time ever announcing. We had some issues with our former announcer getting in, or something happened with the plane, and Miguel's like, "Yo, you got to announce, man." And I was like, "I don't know if I can do that, man." He's like, "Dude, you got this." So like I spent like the whole week practicing, getting like music together and stuff. I was so nervous, but I actually had a lot of fun doing it, and I enjoy it. You know, I know the sport relatively well. I've been skating inlines for a while, so it's cool to be in that position, and I'm looking forward to it.
Cool. So obviously you're not only the co-founder, you have a vested interest in it, but you're also a fan of the NSC, and I know that you were watching even when you were training for the Olympics. What were your thoughts about the premiere of season 5?
Yeah, so last time I didn't get to make it out. I was actually training. It was real close to the Olympics, and you know I just couldn't get out here. But I did watch it online, and I can tell you that the hype from watching it online was so much better being in the Tacoma Armory versus the skating rink. And the new building has so much potential, and I think it's really cool that we have the opportunity to be in there. And you know, pretty much sky's the limit with that building, and it really changes the whole feel of the event. Whether you're watching online or from talking to you guys, you know, saying how much cooler it is being in that building. I really think it's going to take us to new heights.
Well, man, Joey, word on the street is you're doing clinics now in your downtime. Where do people sign up for these clinics, and what can they expect from one of your clinics?
It's actually pretty easy to sign up. Just contact Robin at ProNSC.com, and she can get everything situated with the details. As far as what to expect in the camp, you know, for me, there was a lot of technical things that got me to be where I was as a world champion. And I'm teaching exactly that. And it doesn't matter if you're a pro or if you're a beginner. You can take on this information and build it into your program. And I really think that people will benefit from this. And you know, sometimes the littlest things go the longest way.
Well, Joey, I'm fired up for April 5th, man. It can't come soon enough. But why should someone come see the races?
All right, well, apart from watching the best racers in the world go at it, we got some cool new stuff going on this event. First of all, we have the 106.1 party crew coming out to kick it. We have the Hottie Toddy Espresso Girls. We have a fully catered event from Emerald Cove Catering. They have great food. That's pretty cool. We have a beer garden. And on top of all of that, we're giving away a $15,000 getaway at the Grand Ridge Manor. So, I mean, if you're into that kind of thing, you should show up.
Well, that's all we got here at the NSC Pre-Race Show. Thank you guys again so much for tuning in. Join us April 5th for a night of fun and excitement at the Tacoma Armory. Doors open at 5:30, racing starts at 6. Can Tom hold off the best racers in the world? Not sure, but I know there's only one way to find out. We'll see you Saturday.